Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, is often remembered as a leader who presided over a period of economic prosperity and national optimism during the Roaring Twenties. Known for his quiet demeanor and firm commitment to limited government, Coolidge's presidency was defined by his dedication to fiscal conservatism, laissez-faire economics, and a strong belief in American values of self-reliance and individualism. Calvin Coolidge was born on July 4, 1872, in Plymouth Notch, Vermont, a small rural town where his father, John Coolidge, served as a farmer and the town's notary public. His mother, Victoria, passed away when he was just a young child, leaving his father to raise him. Coolidge attended local schools before enrolling at Amherst College in Massachusetts, where he studied law. He graduated in 1895 and returned to Vermont to begin his career in law. Coolidge's early experiences as a lawyer, first in Northampton, Massachusetts, provided the foundation for his political career, as he was soon drawn into local politics. Coolidge's political career began in 1899 when he was elected to the Northampton City Council. Over the following years, he gained a reputation for his integrity and dedication to his duties. His breakthrough came in 1912, when he was elected governor of Massachusetts. He was known for his firm handling of labor disputes, most notably during the Boston police strike of 1919, when he famously stated, "There is no right to strike against the public safety by anybody, anywhere, anytime." His response to the strike earned him national recognition, especially among conservative Republicans who valued his decisive leadership. Coolidge's reputation as a man of principle and efficiency led to his selection as vice president under President Warren G. Harding in 1920. Harding's death in 1923 thrust Coolidge into the presidency, where he would remain for the next 6 years. Upon Harding's death on August 2, 1923, Coolidge was sworn in as the 30th President of the United States. Coolidge's approach to leadership was marked by a strong sense of restraint. He was often referred to as Silent Cal for his quiet, reserved nature, preferring to speak little but act decisively. In many ways, Coolidge was the embodiment of the 1920s ethos, focused on personal responsibility, individualism, and economic prosperity. One of Coolidge's most significant contributions as president was his economic policy, which championed low taxes, limited government spending, and deregulation. Coolidge believed that government should interfere as little as possible in the affairs of the economy, a philosophy in line with the economic boom of the 1920s. Under his leadership, the United States experienced significant economic growth characterized by widespread industrialization, technological innovation, and an expansion of consumer culture. The stock market surged, automobile production flourished, and the country's standard of living rose dramatically. Coolidge's administration implemented tax cuts, most notably through the Revenue Acts of 1924 and 1926, which reduced income taxes and business taxes. These cuts were intended to stimulate economic growth by allowing individuals and businesses to keep more of their earnings. Coolidge's Treasury Secretary, Andrew Mellon, played a key role in shaping these policies, which were designed to balance the federal budget and reduce the national debt. Despite the prosperity of the era, Coolidge remained cautious about government intervention in the economy, believing that the market should regulate itself. His famous quote, "The business of America is business," reflected his belief that the government should prioritize creating an environment where businesses could thrive without excessive regulation. In foreign policy, Coolidge largely adhered to the isolationist stance that had characterized U.S. policy after World War I. He favored diplomacy over military intervention and worked to maintain peace and stability through international agreements. One of his most significant foreign policy accomplishments was his role in the Kellogg-Briand Pact of 1928, which was signed by the United States and 14 other nations. This agreement sought to renounce war as a means of resolving international disputes, although it ultimately proved ineffective in preventing future global conflicts. Coolidge's administration also worked to strengthen relations with Latin America through the Coolidge Doctrine, which emphasized the importance of peaceful relations in the Western Hemisphere and sought to prevent European intervention in the region. Under this doctrine, the U.S. pledged to support the stability of Latin American governments and respect their sovereignty. Coolidge was a deeply principled man known for his strong sense of personal morality and commitment to family life. He was a devout Christian who believed that moral character and faith in God were essential to the nation's success. He often spoke about the importance of religion and the need for Americans to live according to high ethical standards. Despite his reserved public persona, Coolidge was also known for his love of simple pleasures, such as reading, fishing, and spending time with his family. After winning re-election in 1924, Coolidge chose not to seek a second full term in 1928, deciding that he had accomplished his goals. His decision not to run for re-election in 1928 is sometimes seen as a reflection of his personal philosophy of humility and his desire to avoid overstaying his welcome in public office. After leaving the White House, Coolidge retired to Northampton, Massachusetts, where he lived a quiet life. He wrote his memoirs and engaged in public speaking, occasionally offering his insights on governance and public service. He passed away on January 5, 1933, at the age of 60 from a heart attack. Coolidge's legacy is one of economic prosperity and political stability. He left office in 1929 with the country in a period of unprecedented economic growth, although the stock market crash that year and the subsequent Great Depression would overshadow his administration's achievements. Nonetheless, Coolidge remains an important figure in American history, particularly for his role in shaping the nation's economic policy during the 1920s. In the years following his death, Coolidge's reputation has undergone periods of reassessment. While some critics argue that his economic policies contributed to the conditions that led to the Great Depression, others praise his leadership during a time of prosperity. His commitment to limited government fiscal responsibility and individualism has made him a hero to many conservative thinkers. Today, Calvin Coolidge is remembered as a president who prioritized the nation's economic well-being, upheld traditional American values, and governed with a steady hand in an era of dramatic change.